So being to Thailand so many times, your time must be amazing.
Yeah, always, always. Sawadika. Chuncha Sandavan Ka. Wani Chun Uti Samui Ka. Kapun Ka.
Well done.
See that one a lot.
That's good. That's good.
Literally been going to Ibiza for 20 years and I know how to say por favor, and that's probably it.
Welcome back to Move Mag Asia, and today we are lucky enough to get a little bit of time with somebody who started in a garage, then got promoted to her mother's ironing board in the house, first lady of Defected, label owner, queen of Soulful House, candle connoisseur, professional collector of air miles, Miss Sam Divine.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How's things going?
Amazing. I mean, just look around us at this beautiful setting.
It is amazing.
This
However, it's very hot.
It is very hot, but I'd rather be very hot than being cold back in Manchester.
Oh, definitely. So you are probably, like, I've seen the gigs that you've done recently. Too much for me.
Yeah.
But recently, so you've just done Dubai, then you did Samui a couple of days ago, which is where we are now.
Yeah.
So you played at Chi. Then you're here for a couple of days relaxing.
That's it.
I'm sorry for intruding on your relaxing days.
Only you could get away with this. Only you.
Then you fly to Singapore.
Yeah.
Where are you playing at Singapore?
Playing at C'est La Vie.
Okay, C'est La Vie.
Really, really dope rooftop. I just saw Martini's brothers did like a live stream from that. It's beautiful.
And then back to Thailand.
Colours Festival, Phuket on
Colour
Saturday.
in Phuket Saturday.
Yeah.
It's busy. And then
busy.
home?
This is light work. This is actually light work. This is great. Well, I've only got 4 shows in the space for like 10 days, whereas peak summer, it's just nuts. It's just back-to-back shows. So it's nice to get the downtime in here and get it in before the summer.
Yeah. Well, you've been to Thailand quite a few times.
Many
times.
Is it
your go-to destination?
Absolutely. I've been coming here since 2007. I love the people. I love the vibe. You know, they really do call it the land of smiles for a reason. You know, everyone's so happy, and considering, you know, some people out here don't have much money, but they've still got a smile on their face. And that's, I think, something that I want to take home with me every time I come back out here and be appreciative for, you know, all the nice things that I have in life, and being able to fly around the world and do what I love. You know, I just feel so blessed. So when I come to Thailand, it's definitely my detox time, my downtime, and it kind of just sets me up for, I always try and get here at the start of the year, so it sets me up for the summer as well.
Yeah, I think that's very true with, like, you're saying the land of smiles, like, even if you are a street vendor, everyone's always happy, always smiling.
Always. And I really think, you know, you get on the underground in London and everyone's like super moody, but they're there in their, you know, their Gucci suits, and it's like, what have you got to be sad about? All right, getting the trains is great, you know, especially in London with all the train strikes happening at the moment. But yeah, I just love it out here. I feel like it's my second home from home.
So do you come with the girls, or do you come on a holiday, or is it always gigging?
It's always gigging. I did a month last January. I did a detox wellness sanctuary, and it was a game changer. You know, no meat, no alcohol, no partying, and it really did change my life. You know, I was sleeping better, and things that I learned from that detox retreat, I then put into my everyday life as well. You know, if I'm meditating, or if I need to, you know, bring myself down or even bring myself up before a show, if I transport myself back to Thailand, it just puts me in a really safe, relaxed state as well. So thank you.
So being to Thailand so many times, your time must be amazing.
Yeah, always. Always.
So luckily, right, so I know you do a lot of interviews. I don't want to ask you all the standard questions that you get asked every interview. Yeah. So we'll mix it up a bit. So because we are in Thailand, you're in Thailand, quick Thai phrases. Okay. Ready? Yeah. Easy. Okay. So first one is hello. You must know this one already.
Scared. Sawadika.
That's it. Sawadika.
Sawadika.
So if you're a man, if you're a male, you say sawadikap.
Okay.
And if you're a female, it's ka.
Sawadika. And you have to like go ka.
That's it. Whereas I go
yeah.
kap. Okay, next one. My name is Sam Divine. Okay, so we've got Chun Che Sam Divine Ka.
Chun Che Sam Divine Ka.
Perfect.
I'm basically Thai.
So when I edit this, I'll put it all together, and then you can just have this conversation with me.
Yeah.
And then next one. So we've got Wani Chun Yuti Samui Ka.
Okay.
So it's a bit long. So basically, this says I'm here in Thailand.
Okay.
In Samui.
Okay. Wani Chun Yuti Samui Ka.
Perfect. Professional. And last one, Kapkun Ka.
Kapkun Ka.
Well done.
See that one a lot.
That's
good.
That's good.
Literally been going to Ibiza for 20 years and I know how to say por favor, and that's probably it.
Okay, so you are originally from Weston-super-Mare.
I am indeed. Big up the Mare.
How do the beaches compare?
We don't have a beach. Have you seen the beach in Weston-super-Mare?
No.
So we call it, if you're local, we call it Weston-super-Mud, because I've never been in the sea in my life. It's just mud for as far as you can see, and then it's the sea.
Oh, so it's not similar to Blackpool?
I mean, back in the day, people always used to come to Weston for a night out and hens and stag parties, and it was a vibe. And then kind of the music just dried up. There was, a business guy that came in and bought over all the clubs, and it all went R&B and hip hop. Hence why I did my first season in Ibiza and ended up moving to London.
Okay, so you mentioned R&B and hip hop.
Which is my first love.
I always say this every time.
Which is my first love.
So I want to know, because I believe that house music was probably the last on your list.
It was.
Of things that you got into?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it was kind of, it was hardcore and drum and bass, jungle. And then R&B, hip hop, like in the 90s, garage, I was big on. And then I was actually at an after party, and someone was playing a Sasha and Digweed.
Yeah.
I think it was like the Renaissance album. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And it was progressive house. So I kind of just went on a bit of a rabbit hole. Not for too long, though, because then I found Soulful House. And then from Soulful House, I kind of went on to the more vocally stuff that I play now. And, I even play techno. I don't think anyone should put a label on it. Like, I play house music, but there's so many genres underneath the house umbrella. And obviously working in record shops, we had 5 sections. It was house, techno, drum and bass, jungle. And now, now there's tech house, or you go on Beatport and there's so many subgenres of it. But if you worked in a record store, you'd end up having like 20 shelves. So we just kept it all to that. It was something that I didn't know. I called it Electech Min, which was a crossover between electro, techno, and minimal, basically. But yeah, I've kind of been through everything. And now, I would just say that I play house.
Well, I think things were a little bit different when we were younger, because I can remember going to the record shop and you had to manually go through all the records and you'd ask, can I see next week's releases?
Yeah.
And then they'd go and find a little sheet.
Yeah,
and then you go through, okay. And then there was usually 1 or 2 records in the corner that you could...
You had to ask for the under-the-counter records. Yeah. You're special if you got those.
Them were the days, So mentioning your first love, which is hip-hop, when did you first get into hip-hop?
Probably when just before I passed my driving test at 17, I had a little mini Metro. And then after about 6 weeks, I upgraded it to a GSI Corsa 16 volt. I was a massive girl racer back in the day. We used to drive up and down the seafront in Weston and just absolutely hammering the Biggie album, Ashanti album, anything John B or Donald Jones, like Usher. That was just my vibe. And Mixmag actually brought out a CD, and it was EZ. And that just got rinsed to death. And that was probably my first proper introduction, because being in Weston... Was
that the garage mix?
Yeah, it was like the free CDs that used to get on the front cover of Mixmag every month. And I'd probably, rinsed that one to death, and then started going to London and partying and going to garage nights in London, like Lords of the Underground and Coco's, which is Camden Valley back then, or the Channel Club in Vauxhall, because there wasn't any garage. It wasn't like a Southwest sound.
Yeah.
It was more London. So I remember when I used to get to Slough, put on the pirate radio, and then I'd be like, this is me all weekend listening to garage.
So what was the much hip-hop in Weston-super-Mare?
There was nothing really. My friend Jonesy is still a really good friend who plays at all my birthday parties. All the girls chip in and book him for our birthday parties. So we used to go and see him religiously in Cardiff every weekend.
Yeah.
And there was a club in Weston called Sands that we used to go to pretty much 5 nights a week. Cheap shots, cheap drinks, but the music was absolutely bang on. So yeah, it was just R&B, hip hop for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Can you remember the first hip hop CD you bought, or the first track that got you into hip hop?
Well, it was probably Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotized. That was kind of like an entry level because they played that in the clubs. It wasn't like too underground. I got into that kind of a little bit later on.
Okay. So not like as far as NWA and stuff like that.
Yeah, I religiously watched MTV Base from the moment I woke up to the moment that I went to bed. So if it was played on there, then I knew it, and then I'd record it. And then I'd have like my own kind of almost like mini mix R&B that if I was getting ready and there was like, someone on that I wasn't really feeling, that was my go-to.
Can you remember Normski?
Normski.
Do you remember that? No. I think the show was called Dance Energy.
Oh, okay. No.
Remember Hitman and Her?
No.
Yeah, this is because I'm older. Back in the day, showing the age.
I'm sure they were great.
So after you found a love of house, you moved to Ibiza.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go in the ins and outs because you've said it 100 times.
Yeah.
But basically you did, to this date, it's probably 14, 15, 16 seasons.
Easily, yeah. I think it's probably my 18th season actually.
Yeah.
So I've been with Defected 16. I had a residency for 3 years before I got signed. So yeah, long time.
And you mentioned Defected, which if you're from England, of course you know. But 95% of the people who watch this are Thai.
Yeah.
So how would you explain or say what Defected was?
Well, Defected still is. It's the biggest.
Oh, it is.
Yes,
Sorry.
It's the biggest house label in the universe. We've been going 26 years, 25, 26 years in January. The first release was I know this as well. Anyway, you guys can go and look it up anyway. Defected Records on YouTube. Yeah, and it's just been, it's really made my career. I get to fly all around the world every weekend, doing a job that I absolutely love, going into territories where I think, God, this girl that used to mix in the bottom of my mum's shed is now actually, headlining festivals, headlining shows, selling out shows. And it's just, the whole journey is just so crazy when I kind of look back and, being reminded that, having my decks on an ironing board at my mum's house, it's just like, I'm just so blessed to be able to do what I do.
Well, especially I think like back in the day, it was tough because there was no social media like there is today.
Yeah,
I think
we had MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
Yeah.
Top 8. Can you remember anyone?
Tom. Always Tom. He was like my number one. But what was cool about MySpace, before kind of really, phones and really had the internet, it was like these forums and it built these communities.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool even now, like the Defected community. Everything is in real time now. So if you put a record up, people love it, then you've got that instant reaction. Whereas you'd have to go and log on the next day to see if people liked it. Whereas everything's in real time now, which is great. Some people complain about, phones and raves, and I think that's brilliant because it's capturing people's moments as well, to take back with them.
Well, I think like even when you used to find music, because you were the first person that hears the song and nobody else has got it back in the day.
Yeah.
And like you play it, I think it's just the feeling of...
Yeah. Now it's super cool because you can finish something off in the studio, burn it to USB and literally play it out that night. Whereas obviously with vinyl, you'd have to wait to get it pressed.
Yeah.
Or put it on CD. Some of the CDs now don't even have, CD. But I've gone from vinyl. I played vinyl for 7 years. Then CDs sitting there in hush, burning all my CDs off. The more vodka that you drank, the more that you can actually read your own handwriting. And then obviously, then it just went USB. I was actually one of the last people to go over to USB. And all my friends that were DJing were like, Sam, you're an idiot. You're carrying around like this slapper case with you for the CDs. And I'm like, no, I'm vinyl till I die. I still like flicking. And then, of course, as soon as you put everything on USB, it's like, why did I do this ages ago?
How many times did you lose your CDs?
Never. Not once.
That's pretty good.
Not once. I probably only lost about maybe 4 USBs in my life.
Headphones,
maybe 1.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty on it. I've got an amazing tour manager, stroke boyfriend now that he packs all my bits up after my show. So if I forget anything, it's his fault.
And going back to MySpace, can you remember Don't Stay In?
Don't Stay In. That's the other one. Yeah, that was great for pictures. So you have a photographer in the club, and then they take snaps of everyone, and then you'd like log on the next day and then tag yourself
on the Sunday or the Monday.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm
yeah,
there.
literally, and then tag yourself, and then you can build a profile through that. But MySpace was massive for me in terms of building my career, because I was able to do mixes and put them online and then share them on the forum.
Yeah.
And then that's how I'd get my feedback, because of course you didn't have SoundCloud, Mixcloud, you didn't have any, or YouTube really, you didn't have any of those things to be able to, you know, show people what you were made of. So yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful for MySpace and Don't Stay In as well.
Yeah. Enjoyed them back in the day.
Yeah, same.
I want to talk to you about trainers.
Yes, I could talk to you about trainers all day long.
But before we talk about the normal run-of-the-mill trainers, because we're of a similar age, can you remember Champion, red and green?
I remember Champion. I'm not sure about the
colours. Oh, okay. Probably a few years before. So people used to wear one red Champion and one green Champion.
Okay. Got you. No, I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah.
No.
Might try bring it back.
Yeah, do it. I would just flip the laces. I'll just have the laces different colours.
And there was a Troop. Remember Troop?
I don't remember Troop.
No?
So we're not similar age. Stop saying that. We're not similar age. Okay?
I think there's only probably a few years in it. Okay, not trainers, but socks. One pink sock and one green sock.
Where did you go out?
This is my age.
Where did you go out? Never seen anyone wear that.
So, trainers, you have a love for trainers, of course.
Yeah.
How many pairs?
I was trying to, just recently moving house, so everything's in lockup. So I don't want to overjudge it or underjudge it, but I probably have around 80 pairs of Jordans.
80?
I would say so, yeah. And then I've got my Air Max 1s, 90s, 97s, and a few pairs of Adidas. I'm not a big Adidas fan.
And your favourite is infrared?
Infrared,
right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've probably had like 3 pairs, and they're probably one of my most expensive kits.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get them repainted, and yeah, whenever I go, they're kind of like my trophy kick. But then I didn't realise someone actually bought me a pair, and I was rolling around the States on my first US tour, and everyone's like, all the security, like, yo, girl, check out the kicks. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. But I didn't realise how dope they were. So they got ruined in clubs and festivals. And then when I really started collecting, I was like, oh my God, they're like a shrine kick.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever I'm in the States, I just buy another pair and just keep them.
So do you normally wear them or keep them?
I wear them. What's the point in keeping them? Yeah, I wear them. And then if they get bad, I'll just buy another pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember the first time I saw a pair of infrareds. Like I was at school on the bus, and like this kid, like, they're amazing.
They go with everything as well. Because I dress from the kicks up.
Yeah.
So I put what I'm wearing on my feet first, and then I'll dress up. So yeah, it's really important for me. But yeah, we're having a kick room built. I can't wait for that. Just have my own little sanctuary to go in there and see them in all its glory. It's really exciting.
Similar to our friend Israel.
Yes. Yes, very much. Big up Israel. Yeah.
Big up Israel. Yeah, he's got too many. Far too many.
You can never have far too many kicks. Ever.
And also you've got did you see a custom pair of Biggies?
Yeah, I've got a few pairs actually of customs. It was really cool. I recently played in Chicago, and one of the guys came to my show, and I ran a night last year called Cloud 9, and he had hand painted clouds on the outside, and then he'd put like a Gucci kind of insult in. It's just so cool. Yeah, the Biggie ones is from I had the Coogie jumper, then someone bought me some art, and I was like, yeah, that looked dope on a kick. So
the clouds for Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit.
And we
had a brand new tattoo last night in Samui. Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit. B-I-G.
Always remember that.
Why don't you like Adidas?
It's not that I don't hate on them. I just I don't think they fit my style.
You told me Yeezys are really comfortable.
They are really comfortable. They are really comfortable. But then people say Crocs are cool, and they're really not. So do you know what? It's whatever is your personal taste. For me, Jordan 6s and 7s just wrap around my feet, and I feel really good when I wear them. And then of course you go to the States, and like everyone's got the OG, the Jordan 3s on. And then you go to the UK, and like people in the UK haven't got very good kick game at all. There's a select few that you see. So when you see a really nice pair of kicks, you're like, yeah, respect.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time and effort's gone into that person. They're not just like a hype piece. But each to their own. I've got no beef with anyone that wears Adidas.
For viewers who don't know, Sam started as Flyer Girl, is that right?
Pretty much. Well, they call it a
street team.
Street team. Street team. Yeah.
And then throughout her time in Ibiza, moved up to like promoter.
Yeah, it was pretty quick like that actually. Yeah, it was street team. They made up this position for me because I just wanted to get involved, and basically I had to service all the DJs on the islands with either it was still kind of vinyl, it was on the back of the vinyl, so vinyl, CDs, t-shirts, that kind of thing. Go around to all the clubs, and then the next week go back and just get feedback, and then I'd feed that back to Defected and be like, this record's doing without Cure in the Cause, for instance, hearing that being played at DC10 or Amnesia, Defected wanted to know. So I was kind of like the eyes and ears on the ground for Defected that summer.
Yeah, and she was still DJing.
Still DJ, yeah, still
a lot.
Held a residency, yeah, which was a lot because I was playing like 6 nights a week at my residency at Hush, and then on my one night off, I would go to Defected at Pasha, and that's pretty much how I met. Aaron Ross actually used to come into the record shop in London, and then he invited me to Ibiza, and that's kind of how it all kicked off. And then me and Simon just hounding him every week, like, hi, I'm Sam, hi, I'm Sam, hi, I'm Sam. Give me some music, give me some music. So he'd fill me up with all the upfront promos. And I'd only play it in my little bar in the West End, but it was a big deal for me. It was a really big deal for me. And then, I remember I flew back that winter, and Simon was like, meet me at the office, but we met in Regent Street, I think, or Oxford Street, and we jumped in a black cab, and he asked me in the back of the cab, and was just like, do you want to be events manager for Defected? And I was like, yeah, cool, I can do that. Thinking, oh my God. I mean, I was promoting parties before with my best friend for probably 10 years.
Yeah.
But nothing on that level. I mean, Defected is a monster, right? So I remember calling my dad, and my dad was like, just give it 100%. If you don't like it, you haven't got to, keep doing it. So, and by the end of the summer, I actually hated Defected. I hated DJing. I hated Ibiza. I hated everything about the industry because it was a lot. It was a lot having to, the job role.
Ibiza is a lot.
It is a lot.
Like even if you just go on holiday for even 3 or 4 days, it's a lot.
Well, I did 6 months. I did 6 months, and it is a lot. It really takes it out of you as well. You don't really have any downtime because there's just always another party that you want to go to. So by the end of that summer, I was just like, I don't even know if DJing is really for me. And then Simon flew me back to play Ministry of Sound, my first proper UK Defected show. And on the Monday, he called me and was like, we're going to sign you to the roster. The rest really is history.
Yeah. So that's it. Oh, dancing on the decks. You must have it.
Dancing on the decks. Yeah. Oh my God. When I used to drink, I always used to dance on decks or dance on speakers. But that was when I was Miss Divine. That was back in the Miss Divine days. Yeah, I left her berries.
Wow. So many years in Ibiza. People drink. People drink a lot.
Yeah, like fishes.
100%. And like to be honest, most DJs I know, probably 80% drink before. Yeah. Whereas you used to have a little drink before, but now I believe you've gone to the holistic ways.
I have.
And stopped drinking completely.
Yeah, and it was Thailand, doing a month in Thailand. I came out with a few party girls and they were partying, and when it got to like 8-9 o'clock, I'm like, I'm going to bed. And that really, again, like I said, set me up so much for the whole year. I went straight off the back to Thailand, from Thailand to Australia. And Australia, I'd always partied and drank. So that it was just really different going back to all these different countries and actually doing it teetotal.
Do you find it hard?
No, not at all. I actually really hate it now if I have one drink before, because if like say one mix is sloppy, no mixing is perfect for a whole 2 hours, but I blame it on, I had a tequila before I went on, so it must be that. So in my head, I've literally trained my brain to like have no alcohol, and I play better, I sleep better, I read the crowd much better, I think I'm much more experimental, I have more confidence, which is mad because the only reason why I first drank is
to gain more confidence.
Right? So the first few times I was just like, I was looking around, I was like, someone give me a tequila. Like it was a weird place to be in because I'd always drank before my shows. And now it's so cool. I've got such a wicked crew around me that they just know the drill. So we have like sober riders, and people kind of keep the alcohol out of my timeline, or I just don't put my favorite drink on a rider because I hate vodka.
So now you've got a sober rider.
Yeah.
You have Cucumber and water?
Cucumber, sparkling water. I have some juices for afterwards or in the morning if I've got an early flight. I have some Captain Crunch cereal.
Organic chocolate bars?
Organic chocolate, yeah, the naked chocolate bars. Yeah, I actually learned that off my friend Hannah once because we played together at snowbombing, and she had like her rider was so clean, and I was like, I need to take a leaf out of your book. So yeah, started putting like nice snacks instead of Haribos and or whatever. It's yeah, DJ you can get like pretty big and pretty drunk and quickly, but yeah, that's just my vibe now, and I'm staying with it, and I just really want to. I'm not here to preach about playing sober. But I think that in our industry, it really should be spoken about because it doesn't get spoken about.
Yeah, 100%. Because like being a DJ, I don't think people only see like you as an artist,
a party,
and not a real like a person.
Yeah.
So like the hours that you put in on the plane, and like traveling to places, doing the gigs, and like everybody's always drunk when you get to the gig.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard.
It is very hard. Yeah, but like I said, now I've like really trained. My mental well-being is far more important to me now as I'm getting older than it was in your 20s and your 30s when you're carefree. Because you think you're just going to live like this forever. But in actual fact, it was actually me dealing with my mental health problems that made me feel, okay, well, if I want another 10 years of doing this, then I have to make some changes for myself. So I was like, I'm going to go to Thailand. Originally, I was going on my own, and then one of my friends jumped on with it. But I'd put in a lot of work in lockdown with my life coach that taught me about breathing, just something as simple as breathing. I'd even forgotten how to breathe properly. It was just like it was really tense, and it was a very toxic situation that I was in that I had to get myself out of. So I spent about a year and a half working really hard on myself.
Yeah.
You have to dig deep, and you come across things that you don't really like about yourself, and you have to work through that. And I just thought, for me, the only way that I could do that is if I go sober. And I'm a much better person. When I drink, I just cry. I just want to eat loads, just that anxiety where you wake up in the morning like, what did I do last night? You don't have that anymore.
Yeah. Well, you do a lot of hours. Like you've got 2 radio shows, Kiss and Defected.
3 radio shows.
3?
And Sirius in North America as well.
Oh, okay.
On Diplo's radio, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of... radio takes up a lot of my time. But I've kind of been doing it for so long now. There was some guy, actually, that came up to me that was out here in Dubai. And he was stood in the booth, and as I turned around, he was just like, "Oh, I've missed my flight." He was a New Yorker, right from New York, and he was like, "I've been listening to your podcast since the Bargreaves podcast."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's 16 years.
Yeah,
you've been listening to my radio show." It's just like I was just like, "Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you," kind of thing. But yeah, it's always been like, give me a mic, and I just turn it on. I really enjoy being behind camera. I really enjoy doing my radio shows. It's just that I feel like that's my natural habitat.
Radio show, DJ, producer,
record
label.
I've got a lot going on. I got a lot going on, but I love it. I absolutely thrive off it. I love that I have all these kind of strings to my bow that I can tap into, and it's about building a really good team around you to make that all happen as well. So I just got to turn up and play records, sign records, and record radio shows.
Is there anything that you want to do that you haven't done yet?
I would love to start a management company with my partner, and maybe like a DJ agency down the line. I think it's super important to bring new artists through, to keep it fresh as well, and also to have someone who's been in the game. I mean, between us both, we've got like 40 years experience plus. I think that's really important for someone new and up and coming, rather than getting in with like a young manager who's hungry. I get that. That's brilliant, and they can learn off the fly. But I think it's really important that we kind of change the narrative of past as well, and just give them the best start in their career. And that's something that I'm really strongly about.
I think if there was anybody to do it, you'd be in a great position, being an advocate of pushing like young people and getting them noticed in the game.
Not even just young people, we take on anyone, but just, they've got to have fire in their belly, because, if we're going to give you 100%, we expect it back, you can get quite lazy in this industry as well. And I've kind of prided myself on always being grounded and just always keeping myself busy, which isn't always healthy. But now I'm taking like the healthier option in life. Balance is key. And I never really found balance until really kind of last year. So it's still all very new to me as well, going for like a detox shot rather than a shot of tequila. I'm still like sometimes on the line, I should have a drink. It's like, I need someone to be like, no. But yeah, just feeling great and being able to wake up in nature, and it's just different gravy.
So before we finish, I know you're a big Biggie fan.
I am. Biggie.
Me too. So I've just got some lyrics.
Oh no.
I'll start.
Okay.
And you just finish the sentence.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Easier. Let's have a look. Okay. Ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. All ready. That was Biggie's album, All Ready.
BIGPOPPA.
Something about DEA.
No.
No one's going to flop on the first one. You started off really hard as well. Go on.
BIGPOPPA. No info.
Oh, no info.
For
the DEA. Mo money, mo
DEA.
problem.
Okay. Good job. Easy one. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
Perfect. First things first.
First things first.
Can't see. You're not supposed to be looking at the answers. First things first. Papa. Freaks.
Oh, the honeys.
Dummies.
Dummies. Playboy bunnies. So I got the next one.
Okay, and then we've got number 4. I know you heard this before.
Never get high on your own supply. Number 5.
Perfect. Well done.
He's going to be turning in his grave. Oh my God.
So thank you for taking your time. I know I'm intruding in your villa.
Not at all.
So I apologise.
We'd love to have you here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for speaking to me today. Sam Divine.
In the house.